Kurinji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
Kurinji Educational Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.com.
Good morning, students. In this session, we are going to start important chapter in chemistry, chemical bond, chemical bonding or chemical bond. Actually, you know that very well. The elements is always try to get stable configuration. Yes or no? Yes. So the elements is always get stable configuration. What is the stable configuration? If any one of the element arranged 8 electrons in the valence shell, those elements are stable elements. So out of 118 elements, listen carefully, out of 118 elements, only inert gases are arranged the 8 electrons in the valence shell. That's why only inert gases are stable elements comparing to remaining elements. So out of 118 elements, total elements discovered in scientists in chemistry, 118 element. Out of the 118 elements, only inert gases are, they can arrange 8 electrons in the valence shell. So those elements are stable element. But what about remaining elements? So except noble gases or except inert gases, remaining all elements try to get stable configuration. Try to get stable configuration. So in this process, they are involving the chemical bonding. That is the most important. Why elements are involved in the chemical bonding means except noble gases, remaining 112 elements, they are try to get stable configuration. In this process, they are involved in the chemical bonding later to get stable configuration. So this is the major important. So in this session, how the elements involved in the chemical bonding and how to get a stable configuration, the complete information we are going to discussing in this session. So ultimately, my dear students, why the elements are involved in the chemical bonding means only one reason, they are getting the stable configuration. They are getting the stable configuration. So now, what is the definition of bond or nothing but chemical bond? See carefully here. The attractive forces that holds 2 or more constituent atoms or oppositively charged ions together in different chemical species is called chemical bond. So what is the definitions of chemical bond? Attractive forces that hold 2 or more constituted atoms or oppositively charged ion together in a different chemical species is called chemical bond. It means one attractive force is there in between of the 2 atoms. That attractive forces are decided to the bond level or bond formation. So you know that very well. See here, 112 elements are unstable elements. 112 elements are unstable elements. So stable elements are helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. Because of these are having NS2, NP6 configuration. But remaining elements are not having octet configuration. NS2, NP6 configuration is nothing but octet configuration. That's why these unstable elements, already mentioned here, unstable element involved in the different type of bonding, they will get the stable configuration or stable. So for example, out of 112 element, some of the element chooses ionic bond to get stable configuration. So some of the element to selected covalent bond to get stable configuration. Some of the element to selected dative bond to get the stable configuration. Whatever it bonds is there, ultimately the unstable elements are getting the stable configuration through the different type of the bonding. So now in this session, which kind of the elements they are selected ionic bond, or what kind of the elements they are selected covalent bond, so what elements are selected dative bonds, the complete information you are going to discuss in this session. But ultimately all elements target is to get stable configuration. They are choosing different type of the bond, but their only target is to get the stable configuration. So now in this session, which type of the element to choose, ionic bond, or which type of the element to choose covalent bond or coordinate covalent bond, the completely information now we'll teach. The first one, see here, instability of the element to get stable configuration. Some elements selected ionic bond. Now we are going to start ionic bond. What is the ionic bond? What kind of the element to selected ionic bond? What are the characteristics are there? How their formation of the bonding? How they are getting the stable configuration? The complete information now we are going to discuss. First one is ionic bond. So some of the element they are selected ionic bond and get stable configuration. Now see here, what is ionic bond? Complete transfer of electrons, complete, important definition, complete transfer of electron from one atom to another atom by loss of electron or gain of electrons, it's called ionic bond. So, two atoms is there. In between of the two atom, one atom completely transfer of electron to another atom. So completely transfer of electron from one atom to another atom by losing or gain of electron, that is called ionic bond and electrostatic bond. Ionic bond and electrostatic bond. So here what happened? See, A is one atom, B is one atom. A completely donated electron to the B. So NH in the positive charge because of donated the electron cation. This is cation, and here anion. B is accepted the electron from the A. It's anion. Now we will see why it's called ionic bond. So now the A completely transfer of electron, or completely lose of electron to the B. Apo in the positive charge is there. So positive charge, it's called ion. What kind of ion? Cation. So accepting the electron means it's an anion. In between of the cation and anion, bond formation is possible. That is called ionic bond. So my dear students, ionic bonds is nothing but completely transfer of the electron from one atom to another atom. By losing the electron or gain of electron, it is called ionic bond is formed. Now see here one more information. If A lose the one electron to get cation, B gain the electron to get anion. In between of the cation and anion, or bond formation is possible now. That is also called ionic bond. So, but ultimately, the exact definitions of ionic bond say complete transfer of electrons from one atom to another atom. So, how to transfer the electron? Either lose the or gain of the electron. Hence, one bond is formed that is called ionic bond. That is called ionic bond. Complete transfer of electron. Now, this another name is this bond. Another name is electrostatic bond. Why? Because the bond, ionic bond formed in between of the two charged species. Two charged species. A is a positive charged ion, B is the negative charged ion. So in between of the A to B, one bond is formed. That is the ionic bond or electrostatic bond. Because of between of the two species, positive charge or negative charge is there. That's why this bond is another name, electrostatic bond also. So once again I repeated, some of the unstable element, they are involved in the ionic bond by transfer of electron, hence to get stable configuration. This is called ionic bond. This is called ionic bond. It's clear, Nana? Now here, already I said, one atom lose the electron. One atom lose the electron means to get cation. One electron gain the electron means to get anion. So what are the characteristics or how formation of cation? So what are the characteristics are involved in the formation of a cation? What is the cation? Loses of electron species is called commonly known as the cation. So now here what are the characteristics are present or atom converted into as a cation? The first one is, see carefully, loses of electron. Cation is always, cation means positively charged ion. Cation always lose the electron. Second one, it has low ionization energy. That is the most important. All cations have generally low ionization energy. இப்போ low ionization energy இருக்கனா, they are easily to lose the electron. You know that very well. What is ionization energy? The minimum amount of energy is required to remove the electron from the outermost orbit. So if any one of the atom or species contain low ionization potential or low ionization energy, they are easily to lose the electron. So the first character is the loss of electron. Second character is the low ionization energy for cation. And third one is, cation is always large atomic radius. Large atomic radius, most important. If one atom lose the electron, என்ன ஆயிடுச்சு? Atomic radius is increase ஆயிடுச்சு because of large atomic radius. Large atomic radius, low nuclear effect, low nuclear effect, increasing of shell number. These are the characteristics of cation. Once again, if any one of the atom, it can easily to lose the electron, they are converted as a cation. The characteristics of cation, they are lose of electron, already lose of electron, low ionization energy, and a large atomic radius, low effective nuclear charge, and increasing of shell number. Okay na? And if any one of the atom gain the electron, that is called formation of the anion. So what are the characteristics of anion here right now here? Gain of electrons, high electronegativity or electron affinity. If any one of the species getting electron, it's gaining of the electron. So that kind of the elements or species generally has high electronegativity or high electron affinity and small atomic radius. If any one of the anion get electron, atomic size is very small. And high effective nuclear charge, finally decreases shell number. So my dear students, ionic bond is nothing but the completely transfer of electron from one atom to another atom by losing of electron or gain of electron to form ionic bond. So here what are the characteristics of cation? Cation means if any one of the atom lose the electron to get positive charge, that species is called cation. If any one of the atom gain the electron to get negative charge, that species is called anion. Okay na? Now here these are the characteristics of cation, these are the characteristics of anion. So in between, or cation, one anion combine together to form one compound. The compound in between the two species, bond name is the ionic bond. Bond name is the ionic bond. Now say characteristics of ionic bond. What are the characteristics? For example, NaCl is an ionic bond. Definitely. So even KCl is the ionic bond. How we will decide that NaCl show the ionic bond or KCl show the ionic bond? Some important characteristics are there. If any one of the first one, metals and non-metals. So if any one of the atoms involved in the ionic bond, or metal compulsory, and one more thing is the non-metal. Metals is always lose the electron to get cation. Non-metal is always gain the electron to get anion. So that's why, my dear students, if any one of the compound involved in the ionic bond, definitely or metal is there or non-metal is there. That is most important. Especially what kind of the metals are involved in the covalent bond? Group first A and group second A. What are the group first A group elements? Hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. These are the first A group metals. So whenever first A group metals or second A group metals is always involved in the ionic bond. So metals point of view already I clearly explained. Metals and non-metal, both of them involved in the ionic bond. So that is the most important. Ionic bond means two species or two atoms. One atom is metal, another atom is a non-metal. And next one, especially metals, first A group metals or second A group metals probably involved in the ionic bond. But non-metals point of view, 6th A group and 7th A group, it's nothing but 16th group and 17th group. What are the 16th group elements? Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. And 17th group elements, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and astatine. So my dear student, first A group metal and either 6th A or 7th A group non-metal combined together to form one compound. That compound considered as a ionic bond. That compound present in the ionic bond. So for example, first A group element, sodium is the first A group element. Chlorine is the 17th group element. So sodium chloride is formed. It means Na plus Cl is gives rise to NaCl is formed. Okay, Nana? So important thing is, what are the characteristics of the ionic bond? So in ionic bond, compulsory metals and non-metals are there. Especially metals are from first A group elements and second A group elements involved in the ionic bond. And 16th group and 17th group non-metals are involved in the ionic bond. Second one is maximum electrovalency. Ionic bond compounds, the maximum electrovalency na 3 the. Maximum electrovalency na 3 the. So important na maximum electrovalency is the 3. For example, NaCl. Na loses 1 electron, Cl gains an electron. So the two values is nothing but 2. So NaCl electrovalency is the 2. Because of sodium loses 1 electron, chlorine gain the 1 electron. So that's why the covalencies or electrovalency is the 2. Magnesium chloride, magnesium loses the 1 electron, generally, 2 electron. Magnesium always loses the 2 electron. Chlorine loses gain the 1 electron. So 2 plus 1, the covalence electrovalency is 3. So in ionic bond, the maximum electrovalency is the 3. Okay, na? Next, all ionic bonds are generally involved in the redox reaction. All ionic bonds are involved in the redox reaction. So that is also another important point. But in ionic compound, Nana, if one compound electronegativity value 1.7 there, any one of the compound electronegativity value 1.7 is there, that is a 50% of ionic. That is a 50% of ionic. The electronegativity value greater than 1.7, it's a more ionic compound. This is also most important. The ionic compound behavior is decided by the electronegativity value. If any one of the compounds showing a 50 electronegativity value 1.7, that is 50% ionic, 50% covalent nature. Some elements showing greater than 1.7 electronegativity value, that is more ionic compound, and the electronegativity value less than 1.7, that is less ionic compound. So some compounds showing different type of the electronegativity value. If greater than 1.7, more ionic, less than 1.7, less ionic. More ionic in the less covalent, less ionic more covalent. So here according to Fajan's rule, one compound not exactly 100% ionic, not exactly 100% covalent. So if for example 1.7 compound greater than 1.7, more ionic, but it is a less covalent behavior. So that's why according to the Fajan's rule, later I will teach this Fajan rule. According to the Fajan rules, any compound is not purely ionic or no compound not purely covalent. Some percentage of covalent is there and some percentage of ionic is there. So these are the important points regarding to the characteristics of the ionic bond. So once again, Nana,
electronegativity value 1.7 na 50% ionic, electronegativity value greater than 1.7 na more ionic, and electron negativity value less than 1.7 na less ionic. But here exceptional cases is there, except hydrogen fluoride. Hydrogen fluoride electronegativity value 1.9. So already I said here greater than 1.7 na more ionic. But hydrogen fluoride, the electronegativity, important bit nana, hydrogen fluoride electronegativity value 1.9, but it's not act as a ionic, it is a covalent because of the reason see here, but not ionic, it is a covalent due to the small size of atom of the fluorine. In the fluorine small size na, NiH hydrogen also small size, both of them small size na, more sharing is possible, not transfer. Electrons are transfer, but sharing is possible. More sharing is possible. That's why hydrogen fluoride electronegativity value 1.9, but it's not act as a ionic. It is act as a maximum percentage of covalent, minimum percentage of ionic. Not a complete covalent. Not a complete covalent. Maximum percentage of covalent and minimum percentage of ionic. It's clear, Nana? Now see here one example. NaCl, you know, common salt formed by ionic bond. NaCl formed by ionic bond. So what is the ionic bond? You know that very well. The complete transfer of electron from one atom to another atom. Hence to formed one bond, that is called ionic bond. Now see here, NaCl is a salt, common salt. It means Na sodium atom or chlorine atom held together to form one bond. That bond is name is a ionic bond. But now here see carefully how NaCl showing the ionic bond. Sodium atomic number 11. Sodium atomic number 11. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. 1s2 completely filled with electron, 2s2 is also completely filled with electron, 2p6 is also completely filled with electron, but 3s1. Here how many electrons are there completely in the valency shell? That is the most important. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second, last, this is the ultimate shell, penultimate shell. So in the ultimate shell, only one electron. So how the elements get stable configuration? Generally 8 electrons are arranged in the last shell. 8 electrons are arranged in the last shell. That is generally stable configuration. But in the sodium valence shell, only one electron is there. Only one electron. If required 7 electron. So it is not possible to get 7 electron from other atom. That's why how to the sodium do one thing. What happen if this sodium loses this one electron? Back to the 2s to 2p6 configuration. Up 18 electrons 8 electrons. That's why sodium is always try to lose one electron from the 3s orbital. Because of if this lose this electron, they come back to the neon configuration. This is neon configuration. Neon is the, you know that very well, stable configuration. That's why sodium is always try to lose one electron from the 3s1 orbital and to get neon configuration. That's why sodium waiting to donated electron to others. Okay, ma? So how many electrons donated? Only one electron donated. Because of total 11 electrons are there, entire the sodium atom. If loses one electron to get a stable configuration of the neon. That's why sodium is always try to lose the one electron. Next, chlorine. Chlorine atomic number 17. The electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. Now in the valence shell, how many electrons are there counted? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 electrons. So how many electrons are required? 1 electrons are required. So chlorine get 1 electron. If 7 electron is not loses. That's why they are waiting for a wanted 1 electron. So now both of them is approaching each to other. So sodium and chlorine. Chlorine asked to sodium, Mr. Sodium, please give me 1 electron. Sodium is also ready to donate it 1 electron, because of if sodium donated 1 electron to get a neon configuration, and similarly chlorine gained a 1 electron to get argon configuration. 3s2 3p6 is the argon configuration. So now both of them approaching to each other, the electrons transfer from sodium to chlorine. Sodium get cation and chlorine get anion. Hence ultimately ionic bond is formed. Sodium chloride is ionic bond. Sodium chloride is the ionic bond. Now sodium get cation position species, chlorine get anion. So what are the characteristics of cation? Already lose the electron, ionization energy is very low, large atomic radius, low effective nuclear charge. Similarly chlorine anion, gain of electron, higher electronegativity and electron affinity, small atomic radius, high effective nuclear charge and decreasing shell number. So one cation or anion each connected to each other, one bond is formed, that is called ionic bond. So my dear student, this is the ionic bond. In my next class I will go to teach covalent bond information. Okay, Nana? So here important thing is, if any one of the ionic bond showing more than electronegativity value 1.7, that is a more ionic. But according to Fazan rule, one compound is not a completely ionic or not completely covalent. Some percent of ionic and some percent of the covalent behavior is there. Okay, Nana? So in my next class I will teach covalent bond.